Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of Nation Wave, and this is day 13 of the June daily draws. So let's see what message we get today, and I'll be taking the first card from the Tarot at the End of the Rainbow, followed by an oracle card from the Scenes of the Witch Litha Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. This is the King of Cups. The King of Cups. Great King of Cups card here. I love how he's like literally rooted, grounded, sat in the throne where he's part of a tree. And the roots are coming down, but there's a waterfall here. So he's got the torrent of water, he's got the water flow, which represents the emotions, the spirit, spiritual aspects, but he's firmly grounded in the midst of that. So what this means is that, yes, he has his emotions, he's connected to emotion, he can even be moved by his emotion, even has an element of intuitive, listening to the subconscious, listening to that inner voice. But he's also very grounded. He doesn't get himself carried away by our emotions. He's not swept away. He's very firm and secure in his place. He knows he knows who he is, and any change of emotion, either within himself or situations around him, he's going to stay stable and solid. He's not going to be moved by it. He will probably know how to flow with it, how to respond to it, because he's very in charge of particularly his own emotions. He doesn't suppress them, but he knows how to channel them. He knows how to rein them in when necessary, or to realize that maybe if his emotions are a little bit overwhelming at a moment, he knows how to calm them. He knows how to sometimes ignore his emotions, which I know sounds a bit strange. Excuse me. He knows when to not listen to his emotions so much and be more practically minded, more firmly minded, because he knows when his emotions are just ebbing and flowing, and he knows the ebb and flow of his emotions, and he might know that what he's feeling at one particular time, he knows that tide of emotion is going to change, and he can't rely on it fully for how to respond, because it's a changing ebb and flow of his emotions. So, but he's more grounded, he's more rooted in something a bit more solid and firm. But that doesn't mean that he's suppressing his emotions. It means he's just got that wisdom from experience of how to deal with his emotional state. So this card is saying to us is learn to be the master of your emotions. Gain that stability of who you are and your identity. So, and that solid rootedness in who you are. Ground yourself, earth yourself. Get that stable foundation on which you can stand or sit, in the case, be enthroned. Know your own strength and inner power. Be confident in your identity. know what your emotions, what you are like emotionally speaking, and learn how to channel your emotions more effectively, learn how to connect with them, but not to be overwhelmed by them and swept away by them. Bring healing to your emotions. Knowing how to express them, but in a constructive way, rather than in a rash reflex action to a situation where you may say something emotional or something reactionary on the spur of the moment that maybe you'll come later to regret. Whereas the King of Cups would experience that emotion, but know how to communicate it without going overboard, without he wouldn't react too rashly and let it propel him to say or do something that he would later regret. Yes, he acknowledges the emotion, and yes, he will respond to the emotion of the situation, but he will do it with wisdom, with calmness, and he in the right way that's going to be constructive in the situation. Now, often that's easier said than done, but this is what we should be endeavoring to do. So one is to be in control of our emotions, but not suppress them. Understand that we can learn from our emotions, but recognize that emotions can ebb and flow, can change, go up and down and everything. So we need something a bit more stable to root ourselves in. Rooting ourselves in our emotions just makes us, it makes us vulnerable to sometimes their unpredictability. But once we are grounded, then we can flow with our emotions and respond accordingly. Okay, let's see what oracle card we get. Cancer. So it's like because it's the month of Cancer. Call yourself back from all space and time to feel, sense, and reflect on the oceans of your presence within. So to me, this is about connecting, reflecting, to feel, to sense, and reflect on the oceans of your presence within. So reconnecting emotionally with yourself, but in a way that is helpful and constructive, brings healing, and that's greater stability, just like we've been mentioning. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 14. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.